Are you frustrated by complicated water source heat pump nomenclature? Does it seem to take a long time to create quotations using water source heat pumps? Does water source heat pump technology seem like an unnecessarily complex science? Well then, let me introduce you to the new water source heat pump model generator from Mars. Available for laptops or desktops, smartphones, and even tablets, this is a web-based app designed to make water source heat pumps easy to create and quote. Simply access the MarsDelivers.com site through your address bar and let the magic begin. From the homepage of the MarsDelivers.com site, simply scroll down to locate the Water Source Heat Pump Model Generator application button. Unlike previous versions that were hidden away behind login credentials, this feature is available instantly to anyone. Simply click on the button to access. Please note that although the new app makes it incredibly easy to create water source heat pump models, it is not meant to be a replacement for the brochures, submittals, and design guides available at MarsDelivers.com. Please use them in conjunction with the new app. To begin, press the Generate Model Number button. From the first station, choose between the various equipment categories, from commercial water source heat pump, to residential light commercial geothermal heat pumps, to accessories and miscellaneous. In this case, let's imagine we need to quote a small 12,000 BTU horizontal commercial water source heat pump. In looking among the categories, we're going to choose the HBH Series Compact, which is a horizontal configuration with sizes from 6,000 BTU to 60,000 BTU, or from half to 5-ton capacities. After selecting from the categories, we need to choose a nominal capacity in thousands of BTUs. In this case, since we are looking for a 12,000 BTU system, we will choose the HBH 012A, where 12 or 12 would stand for thousands of BTUs nominal capacity. With capacity selected, we will then be directed to choose voltage and phase. In this case, the small 1-ton horizontal system we are selecting is only available in 208, 230 single phase, and 265 single phase. Note that other systems may include 208, 230 single and 3-phase, 463 phase, and 575 3-phase choices. Let's imagine our system requires 208, 230 single phase. After clicking on the 208 230 volt single phase, the Commercial Water Source Heat Pump Model Generator app requires a choice of control platforms. By reviewing the available categories, we can see there are two base choices, the CXM board or the DXM board, by themselves, or with a LAN commercial controls platform attached, or with an MPC commercial controls platform attached. Let's see if we can't define these a bit further. The standard CXM electronic control board is a simple microprocessor-based heat pump controller that is very robust and still manages to offer a large array of features such as anti-short cycle protection for the compressor, high and low pressure switches, low air and water temperature sensors, condensate overflow protection, over-under voltage protection, random start, test mode, diagnostics with an LED indicator light, and a separate A terminal for 24-volt accessories like water valves. The Deluxe DXM microprocessor-based heat pump controller package offers everything that the CXM does, plus some very useful additional options such as 2 accessory relays, a 75 VA transformer, night setback input, emergency shutdown input, compatibility with standard heat-cooled thermostats and heat pump thermostats, changeable O or B reversing valve logic, and twinning capability. Coupled with either of 2 commercial control packages, the CXM or the DXM board can become LAN-mark compliant with the LAN controller, or, if purchased with an MPC controller, can communicate through BACnet MSTP, Johnson Controls N2, and Modbus, allowing one controller in a multitude of buildings. In our case, we're going to choose a standard CXM control, a very popular choice. Once we have selected our CXM control board, we are then directed to choose our application between 2 ranges, standard or extended, and then with or without the ultra-quiet option. Despite the simple terms, it's extremely important to make sure that we understand all the options. Let's talk about standard versus extended range first. By definition, a commercial water source heat pump typical application involves moving heat through an interconnected water loop with specifically maintained fluid temperatures from a connected boiler and a rooftop cooling tower. From this water loop, each independent heat pump exchanges heat with the occupied space. Typically, this water loop is approximately kept between 60 degrees Fahrenheit and 95 degrees Fahrenheit. This is the entire waterside experience of all separate packaged water source heat pumps in the building, and this is called standard range temperatures. A large majority of all new and existing commercial water source heat pump buildings utilize standard range temperatures. On the other hand, when buildings are designed using geothermal or hybrid design concepts for the water loop, the temperature range changes. Whether the engineering calls for horizontal ground loops, or vertical ground loops, or pond or lake loops, or even open loop groundwater systems, overall temperature range can vary greatly, often from 20 degrees Fahrenheit to 120 degrees Fahrenheit. This is called extended range temperatures and will affect performance greatly when compared to standard range temperatures. Additionally, the water source heat pumps will now be exposed to very cold fluid conditions, which means condensation can occur. Extended range systems will have additional insulation added to prevent condensation within the heat pump. Note that extended range packages are only available as factory installed options and cannot be field retrofitted. For that reason, it is very important to establish the temperature range before ordering. As for ultra quiet, our commercial water source heat pumps are purpose-built with floating double isolation mounts for the compressors and torsion mounting systems for the blower fans, and are already extremely quiet for almost any application. Still, for those decibel-sensitive applications requiring the next level of sound performance, utilize the ultra-quiet option. The ultra-quiet package enhances the suppression through the use of dual-density acoustical insulation within the cabinet, along with other sound-attenuating materials. Superior product for classrooms, libraries, medical rooms, and other sound-sensitive locations. Much like the extended range insulation, the ultra-quiet package must be factory installed. For the sake of this example, we're going to make this water source heat pump a standard range system. After clicking on the standard range button, we are greeted with a line of nomenclature that is not used in this particular product. In others, it may be used to specify filter size or motor RPM, etc. These details will be explained in each model-specific submittal and design guide, so please have those reference documents handy. The next line of relevant information for our specific 1-ton horizontal unit details 3 specific item qualities: air coil, water coil, and water side economizers. The air coils are available in 3 styles, all of which are typical fin and tube construction. Copper. No protective coating is applied. It's the lowest cost, but with the most corrosion potential. Be aware of any environments where fumes or harsh cleaners may be present. Paper mills, petrochemical plants, or hospital retirement communities are great examples of this. Tin coated. This is used typically with the water side economizer only. And finally, epoxy coated for extreme corrosion resistance. The water coil is a coaxial coil, or a tube within a tube, and is made out of 2 possible materials, copper or cupro-nickel. Much like a plain copper air coil, a plain copper water coil is inexpensive but prone to corrosive elements, certain fluid chemistry, too much fresh water, abrasive debris, all of which can severely limit the lifespan of a plain old copper coil. Cupro-nickel is a mixture of copper and nickel, and it is an extremely corrosion-resistant alloy. It's a must on open-loop systems and a safe bet on many others. Finally, a water side economizer is an additional water-to-air heat exchanger added to the water source heat pump to enable free cooling when loop temperatures are cold enough. Like the extended range package and the ultra quiet package, this water side economizer is only available factory installed. For the sake of our sample system, we're going to choose a standard copper air coil and a copper water coil. From here, the app displays our available return path options, left return or right return, as well as these same options paired with a stainless steel drain pan. Note that the standard drain pan is a powder-coated galvanized steel. As for return path, and this will be reflected soon in a future decision for supply path, the relativity of left or right is dependent upon how we are viewing the equipment. In order to make this choice, First, locate the side where the fluid piping is connected. This will be the front. Regardless of horizontal or vertical, this will always be the front. From this vantage point, we can now ascertain what is left and what is right, what is back and what is top. In this illustration, the small horizontal unit has a right-hand return and the vertical unit has a left-hand return. To mirror the illustration, we will select the right-hand return in a standard drain pan. The final step in making this specific water source heat pump model is choosing our supply path. In this case, this small horizontal water source heat pump has two options, side or back. Since we know what the front is from our fluid piping connections, we know one option is directly opposite. Alternatively, since we know our return is right side return, we know the supply side would be the opposite of that return. Note that in some models, like this horizontal unit, field modification can be made to change a back supply to a side supply, or a side supply to a back supply. This is not all models, so please familiarize yourself with the submittals and design guides located on MarsDelivers.com. For the last possible nomenclature digit, we're going to mimic the illustration and choose side discharge. Once we have chosen, we are rewarded with our full model number. In this case, an HBH 012A1C30CRS model. Underneath this model number, you can see that we can, at this point, export the single model number into an Excel file or a PDF file, which then can be immediately emailed for pricing. Additionally, we could return to the Generate Model Number button and create heat pump after heat pump after heat pump with no real limitation. So whether it's a single unit or a new building filled with lots of water source heat pumps, the model generator can help. By now, you are no doubt eager and ready to use this app, but wait, there's more! A new feature previously unavailable on our older versions is the ability to choose host kits for each individual system. In theory, a host kit is meant to do 5 things. Number 1, flexible, easy connection. Number 2, debris protection. Number 3, flow control, whether it's automatic or manual. Number 4, testing access. And number 5, isolation. Not one of these items is more important than another. As we look at the anatomy of our hose kits, you will find the following. Braided stainless steel hoses in 2-foot or 3-foot lengths with male pipe thread and swivel fittings for easy connection. A strainer assembly with blowdown valve for debris protection. An automatic or manual flow control. Multiple pressure temperature ports for testing access. And finally, ball valves for isolation. Also, know that the average commercial water source heat pump will need between 2¼ to 3 gallons per minute per ton. This figure plays an important role in choosing the right hose kit. To select the appropriate hose kit, click on the button by the corresponding model. A new window will open to show the available matches for both automatic and manual hose kits. Automatic flow kits are sized closely to specific models and will need little adjustment in the field. Manual hose kits, although less expensive, will incur more labor and time in the field to dial in the appropriate flow. Also, note that both 2-foot hose kits and 3-foot hose kits are listed as options. Since we know that we need between 2.25 to 3 gallons per minute per ton, let's go ahead and select a 3-foot hose kit with an automatic flow control system. Notice that the detailed listing along with a quantity box appeared. Let's go ahead and change that to a quantity of 2. At this point, you can choose hose kits for the entire list, again with the ability to export into Excel or PDF as desired. Do note that at any time you may select a previously created unit to review the selected options. Simply click on any unit in the list and a drop-down will appear. And that brings us to the end of this tutorial on the commercial water source heat pump model generator. Like previous versions, we hope you find this digital tool useful. We are Mars, delivering confidence.